Hello friends, and hello also, enemies. So we've looked at Altar, we've looked at the Zaxxian mine worker, and now we look at Kalian Shunn. Kalian Shunn? I'm saying Kalian Shunn because it sounds cooler. It could be that I've mispronounced every single Cosmic Legion's character name that I've come across, but no one's corrected me yet. So as you guys know, for the Outpost Zaxxius wave, we only ordered these three characters, the mine worker, Kalian, and Altar, and now we are at the end of our ordered figures. And while I was most excited for the Zaxxian because I'm a Sphex head, Kalian looks really cool. I've mentioned in my previous reviews how much I love this packaging in particular. As always, you get a bio of the character on one side, Outpost Zaxxius info on another side, figures in the wave on the back. Don't eat it, and don't let a 3-year-old eat it. So Kalian, I guess, kind of does security for spaceship deliveries, and she was previously a bodyguard, and she looks like someone not to be trifled with. She comes with silica. It says do not eat on the package, but there's gotta be an alien out there that eats silica. Alright, let us free her from her oppressive clamshell. I love her character design, just everything about this kind of works together. The colors seem a bit discordant, but they all actually go together really well. I love her hair, it's a beautiful hair sculpt, and as you guys know, I'm a sucker for the color blue. Blue and orange, her skin tone, go together really well. I'm a bit thrown off by her metal arm. It just seems more mythic than cosmic to me. It's just got that medieval feel. But if you look under her hair, she's also got kind of a medieval style collar and medallions, kind of a beaten metal look. Now I do get this weird line across her chest plate. It's supposed to be matte there, and it's not. I don't know what happened, maybe just like an unfinished piece. It's hidden a bit by her hair, so it's not that big of a deal, but it is definitely noticeable when the hair is not in the way. Which is a shame because I really love this chest piece. It's a beautiful matte blue with some silver accents. She's really got she's got knight vibes. Yeah, her hair is just beautiful. Pouches, you gotta have pouches, whether you're in medieval fantasy times or future space times. How else are you gonna carry things? Let's look at her face sculpt. So initially I thought that her face was reuse of Ziri's face, but that is not the case. Completely different face sculpts. I'm sure this face has been used before in a mythic line, but yeah, her and Zirian look completely different. I have Ziri here for reference. I'd say Ziri's features are more pronounced while Kalian's are more soft and rounded. They're both about the same height. They both look like they could beat you up, which I'm here for. Both beautiful ladies. So in addition to all the blues and the oranges and the bronzes and the reds and the browns, she's got a green jumpsuit, it looks like, underneath, which is a classic look. Just wear a jumpsuit and then put whatever you want over it. She's got these shin guards that are much in the same style as her arm guards. So this blue metal and then a weathered brown boot to match with her weathered brown gloves. I especially love this back piece down here too. I just like the way it flows. Adds much more visual interest. So they have these plugs. You'll notice one on her gauntlet too. And they come with these little plastic pegs. And with those you can attach them to things like the guns and just peg them in wherever these holes are. This hole is a little dented. It's rubbery, so it shouldn't be a problem, but yeah, it's a little smushed in. I don't know how that would happen. But overall, I think much like many of the other Cosmic Legions figures, she kills it in the character design department. She just looks like a lot of fun, really pretty to look at, a lot of personality. So while I'm usually a fan of the way Four Horsemen depicts their female characters, I would totally be up for seeing a more monstrous female character. Both Kalian and Ziri are very attractive, very humanoid, and even Vorga and to a lesser extent Imbira have very feminized faces. Still pretty to look at, even though Imbira is like a scorpion lady. I personally headcanon all the Sphexians as being female, so that fulfills my quota for terrifying female monster. But yeah, I don't know. It'd be cool to have like a creature like a female Olek or Kragnar. Of course, that's not to take away from the female characters we do have, because I love them very much. And like I said, I do typically like what they do with their female characters. So let's get into articulation. I feel like this hair is going to get in the way. But it might not, because I don't even think she has that much head articulation to begin with. Things might change when we get her alternate head on, but for now, there's not much you can do with this one. Arm up, of course, this one is sticking a little bit. I think that's just because of this breastplate gets kind of in the way of the shoulder. Of course, you have a twist on that. Single elbow, hinge and swivel at the wrist. Okay, so this piece, this entire chest piece, and this harness back here is a separate piece. So it enables a tiny bit of twist, but it doesn't really want to go. It's kind of sticking, and I don't want to push it because that's how you get broken joints. I'm really not sure if that was made to actually swivel there. So you get leg out, leg way out to the side, leg way back. You have the armor running into the leg problem that a lot of these have. And then hinge and dumbbell on the foot. This cloth is wired. It seems to be a pretty sturdy wire. With some of these, the wire isn't very sturdy. But this seems like it'll hold up. So yeah, not fantastic articulation, but I'm sure she can do what you need her to do. So let's look at accessories. She comes with a fair amount. So she'll come with a pauldron. It's not quite in the same color as the gauntlets and the shin guards. It's a little more purpley. And we've seen this type of pauldron before. I think we might have seen it before with Aias. I don't quite remember, but we have seen it before. This kind of insectoid plate armor. To be honest, it's a little big on her. If it was initially made for Aias, he is quite a bit bigger than Kalian, so it looks a little it looks a little oversized on her. I'm not sure if I'll use it, but once she's got her cloak and her alternate head on, it might fit a little better. She comes with this cool belt. It's actually a harness. I think it's supposed to go across her chest. She'll come with 2 trigger finger hands because, as I showed before, she also comes with a gun. This is the quintessential Cosmic Legion's gun. This has been reused so many times. I really like how they have it here with this bronze and gunmetal. She'll also come with this staff, and the staff kind of threw me for a loop because there have been a few staffs in the Cosmic Legion line. Typically, they're a rod and then you attach something to the top. So I was like looking all over the packaging for what attaches to the top of this, but no, it's just this, which isn't bad. It's a little plain. That's just what threw me off. She comes with another gun, a space rifle, a space sniper rifle. It's in the same color scheme as that smaller blaster. And finally, she comes with an alternate helmeted head. So this is another sculpt we've seen before, mostly in the army builders for this line, but here we have it for a named character. It's got this alien language readout across this top, and you can actually remove this. And it reveals some circuitry and an eye underneath, which I don't really think could actually fit her head if we're looking at the actual dimensions. Finally, she, much like Ziri, will come with this cool cloak. She doesn't get an insignia on the back like Ziri's does, but much like Ziri's, it's a cool shape. It's like it kind of reminds me of Halloween, like kind of a bat shape, and it's also kind of orangey. It matches her skirts. It's got some dark blue to match her gauntlets. Zirian's has a clasp, and this has Velcro. So there's Velcro in space, huh? Let's try to switch some stuff out. Might need to heat her up. Okay, if you're thinking about getting this figure or you have it and haven't messed around with it yet, just a couple things. Even when heating her up, I took the head off and the neck went with it, and because of the way her hair is, it's really difficult to get the neck piece out of the head piece. We had to heat her up again and use pliers to get the neck piece out. We were careful, and so nothing was damaged, thankfully, but otherwise we wouldn't have been able to get it out. Another thing is that if you plan on using this head, the cloak is kind of a necessity, and I'm going to show you why. So if you take it off, you see how awkward that looks. I mean, yeah, she's an alien, so anything goes, but it would have been cool since the neck comes out anyway if she came with a completely separate neck for the helmeted option. I'm checking my package and I don't see... I'm checking my packages. Anyway, I don't see a neck option for the helmet. I think this is all we've got. And it looks awkward as heck. I mean, yeah, you get a much better range of motion with this head, and it looks really cool with the cloak on, but it looks downright silly with the cloak off. That said, the pauldron fits on her a lot better than I thought. It is still very big, but it doesn't look oversized on her. It just looks like it's meant to be that way. It pretty much takes up her entire arm area, but I don't see that as a problem. It looks fine. So yeah, personally, this head option, cloak, is mandatory. Oh, and one more thing. When I was going through accessories, I forgot this little piece because it's so small. So, like many other Cosmic Legions, this is just a little piece you can plug right into this gauntlet. So it's just like an additional little weapon that she can fire from her gauntlet. It's a small addition, but I like things like that. So, I prefer, actually, the original head. The helmet is very cool, but this head is just beautiful. I want to see her with her cloak on and this head. And I think I will get rid of the pauldron because the cloak's going to cover it up anyway. Maybe I should have put the cloak on before I put the head on because her hair's going to get in the way. I want this to be underneath her hair. Okay, something else that you should be aware of is that with this head on, this cloak doesn't fit. Or maybe it does and I'm just insane or I'm not seeing something, but I just can't get it to fit around her shoulders. This area right here that's supposed to Velcro together is actually very small in diameter. It doesn't want to fit around her shoulders, and I can't get her neck down in there while it's fashioned around her body. I've tried for like 5 minutes now and it's just not happening. It works with the other head because there's no hair to get in the way and it's got more neck available, so there's more of a thin area that this could wrap around. With it like this, it's just not accessible. I feel like I'm going crazy. Like, am I wrong about that? Am I doing something wrong? But yeah, I think that's just the way it is. So yeah, that's pretty disappointing because I'm a big cloak head. I'm a big fan of cloaks, and she just can't wear this one while we've got her unmasked head on. I mean, it looks cool with the cloak and the masked head, don't get me wrong, but I wish there was a way to... I mean, I guess you could have it unvelcroed and just kind of like floating there. I mean, you don't have to have Ziri's clasped, and it stands there. So yeah, that looks fine. I don't know, I kind of wish we had the option to wrap it around her like we do with the masked head. You guys know that I'm a big fan of Four Horsemen, and also I'm not a toy engineer in any capacity. But yeah, that was a weird decision. I mean, aside from that and the problems I had with her, I do really like her. She's a striking figure. She fits in really well with the rest of them. She's already got dog hair on her. And yeah, if you wanted to give her that other look, that's a really cool look too. Just be careful with the head and the neck. So here are the 3 figures that we ordered from the Outpost Zaxxius wave all together. Sphexian Minor, Kalian Shunn, and Altar Salovius. And I really love them. I'm happy with what we got. If I had to pick a favorite from these 3, of course you know that I gotta go with the Sphexian just because I love Sphexians, and this one is, it's beautiful. I think the blue one, the blue Sphexian, is still my favorite, but out of these 3, I gotta choose the Sphexian Minor. It's a real difficult decision between Kalian and Altar. Altar is very unique. He's a very cool looking alien, a unique sculpt. You don't really see many action figures like this. Whereas Kalian, I think, is Not a more generic design, not calling her generic at all. It's just that we kind of have figures like this already from Four Horsemen. But that's not to discount her, because I really love the way she looks. Out of the three, she is pretty much the most normal-sized quote-unquote figure. Still a little small, just like Ziri, but the Greyborn are very tall, and the Zaxxians have a lot of mass to them. So yeah, if you guys ordered any of the Outpost Zaxxius line, let me know what your favorite was. I'm really loving the Cosmic line. I like Mythic Legions a lot too, but with Cosmic Legions, they're doing a lot of really creative things. I love both fantasy and sci-fi, so unfortunately, I'm into both lines. So, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Likes and subscribes are very much appreciated. Comments are more than welcome. I will get to them eventually, I promise, even if it's 3 months from now. And I'll see you guys on the next one.